Hey, it's Lois. We're going to make this lovely tag. Isn't that pretty? So what we're going to start out with is just a plain piece of cardstock. We're going to round off the corners. So we're going to poke a hole in the center. So then we've got a plain one. Next, we're going to take our memento. And I've got this really cool stamp that is just a script. And you're going to ink it up, and you're going to put it all over in random patterns all over your tag. When you get that done, there's our tag. We've got some pretty butterflies right here. We're going to ink those up with our memento, and we're going to randomly put them to this. We just kind of guess where we wanted them and put them on. Okay, so when we get that part done, then we're going to go on to the painting. Now for the painting part, you want to put probably half as much water as you do paint, so it's really, really translucent, so you can see through it. And you're just going to take just a little bit of paint, I mean barely. Can you see that? It's just barely on the tip, because we want the script behind to show through. So we're going to finish painting that and get that done. And I just used, what I used was Perfect Pearl, or Perfect Paints, and it's a shimmer paint, and then just regular folk art paint. So that's what I used. And remember, you got to water it down so it's really translucent so you can see your stamp and everything behind. Your next step is going to be Distress ink. And I just used the Tim Holtz frayed burlap, and I just went around the outside edges just to give it a little bit of aged look to it. Okay, so when you get that done, your next step is to take your finished distressed card, and you're going to randomly put on these colors. Now what I did was the Glimmer Mist, Tattered Angels, there's even one from Art Anthology, and there's one from Plain Jane, and another Tattered Angels. And you just want to randomly spray the corners and around the middle. It's going to cover up part of your paint that you did, but that's okay. That's part of the look. Then our next step is we're going to take this tag that, probably after you spray it, you are going to have to use your embossing heat tool to dry it a little bit. So when you get that dry, then you can pick out a random word. I chose love. See the love there? And figure out where you want it on there. And what we're going to use is the Art Anthology, and it's the Stone Effects, and it has just a little bit of texture to it. It kind of feels like real stone. And we're going to take a palette knife. We're going to open it up, and it takes very, very little. And you're just going to scoop out some with your palette knife. And you're just going to smooth it over, just like so. You hear it scraping in there. There's like little sand or something in there. I'm not sure what's in it. So you get it over there in every crack. Carefully lift it up, and ta-da, we've got love. Now you can take your heat embossing tool and you can dry that, but when you do that, it does take some of the texture away from it and makes it more smooth. So I suggest that you don't, you just set it to the side and let it dry. So after we get that part done, then we've got our tag with our love on it, and if you feel it, it's going to feel like sand. It's got a texture. You hear my finger rubbing on it. So Then we're going to take our crystal drops. You can use any color you want. Be creative. And I like random patterns. So we're going to put 3 going this way. And then down here at the bottom, on the pink, we're going to put this really pretty turquoise blue color. And we're going to put 3 going this way. They say the texture or the crystal drops takes about, 30 minutes to dry. I always leave mine overnight just in case. Who hasn't picked up the stickles and touched it and it just ruined it. So anyway, after you get that part done, there's your tag. So here's some other tags that I did. Falls just around the corner. And so I've got one that says, totally nuts about you, and it's got the acorns at the bottom, and it says, oh, you're so nutty. And when I got done with that, I was digging through my paint pile, and I ran into this Shimmer Sparkle Spritz by Imagine Crafts. And it's got a lot of shimmer to it. And I wasn't happy with how it was, and so I added shimmer to it. Here's another one that says, autumn is in the air. And I don't know if this is going to show up the shimmer that's in it. Yeah, it does. There you go. Then there was this little bird stamp. Feather seems to be the big thing. And I had this little bird stamp. And I just thought he would look really cute on a tag. So I put him on a tag with some feathers. And I thought that was really cute. I like the way the feathers turned out. Now what I used on the feathers was I used these. They're Folk Art metallic paints. One is champagne and one is silver. And again, water them down. That way you can actually see all your pattern underneath. So there you go. Thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up.